Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. S.K Srivastava. I was in MIT University as Dean Academics, and prior to that, I had opportunity to be in the Industrial Development Bank and to take care of entrepreneurs and to take care of loan giving process and to apprise monitoring of the projects. This makes me more confident to speak on this subject, which is startup. Now, let me say what exactly the startup means. You see, earlier we used to call it you want to do business by setting up a shop or a manufacturing unit. But today, since service sector has become very important, the startup includes service as one of the major activities. So the issue is from what stage one should think of a startup. As a matter of fact, whether you are going to take up a startup, whether you are going to take up any other activity or you are going to take up even in the corporate world you want to take up a job, you can still think of a startup because who is one who thinks of a startup as career? There are two categories of people who think of a startup as a career. The one who are very brilliant and those who have a lot of ambition about themselves. The statistics says that the very good students from engineering college and the IITs and very good students of Indian Institute of Management, they after doing the program, they were not taking up the job offered by various companies as high a level as much 50 lakhs per month or even more. They said that we would like to have our own business which would ultimately result in highly satisfying job. This is one category of the people who look forward to take up a startup. The another category is which is mediocre, and they don't mediocre from the point of academics point of view, but they are good otherwise, and they are not able to get a very good job or they find it difficult to get into corporate world. They think that they can do a very good job in having their business of their own, and this is the second category which think of taking up a startup. Now, the career, the prime portion of the career is when he is doing the graduation. During the graduation, he must give a thinking, and if there is a view to take up a startup, then there are four things which has to be thought of before getting into involved in the startup. The first is what product what product is supposed to be his activity in business. Number two, what is the cost of project? That means how much finance he can manage. The third is what is the profitability? And profitability means the expenses he makes and the earnings he have. The difference is profit. So, and the last thing is not the last thing, technology and the marketing. These are the two more chapters which he has to be concerned about. Now, to quote an example, what these four things, that is cost of project, profitability, technology and marketing, means to a person who wants to take up business as his career. Now the first thing is that uh, product. To make the things very clear, I am trying to take arbitrarily a product. Now if you see the market, you can take up a product something to do with the engineering, something to do with electronics, something to do with steel, and the most acceptable product in the market is eats, the food items. Whatever may happen, the population will always be keen to be interested in good variety of food, in diversification of the food. So if you take a product that I will be making something which I will be able to sell to the people for purpose of their eating comfort. So he can either set up a restaurant, or he can have a small dhaba, or he can serve the food items through tiffin. These are the product range. The product range, then he has to think the second one, how much he can spend, whether he can take the restaurant through purchasing of the shop or taking shop on the rent and other expenditure like furniture and the converting the product into saleable product. You have to get the raw material like potato, tomato, procure them, keep it in such a manner that they survive and they can be converted into food item. But the food item, who does that job? That is the job where the technology comes into picture. Anybody can make sabji, anybody can make roti, but then it should be acceptable to the customer. For that, the cook is very important. The good quality of cook is requirement, and that is through the technology comes. The third thing is about how he markets it, how he is able to reach to the customer to buy the product. That is the another thing which is very important. So, though I propose to take each item like product. Once you are deciding a product, there could be n number of methods of deciding the product. The availability of something in a particular district, say for example, there is availability of mango in some town of UP. So if you are taking a product out of mango, then you have to make a research on that and see how can you manage derivatives of mango to the market. Similarly, it comes the same eats. It could have a cost of project of 5 lakhs, it could have a cost of project of 50 lakhs. The market, how much market you will cover, how will people will know about your product. So these are the things which are required to understand and learn before any startup is taken up. To conclude, what I wanted to say that I have given a definition to a startup. I have tried to indicate which are the type of people who will take up the startup. I have also said 4 basic parameters which have to be taken care by anybody who takes up the startup, and that is the cost of project, the profitability, the technology, and the marketing. All these 4 topics I propose to discuss separately in the next class, and I hope people will come with a lot of questions to me. Thank you.